Tonight on News 5 Live, long-serving PUP politician and Toledo East area rep Mike Espat passes away. A security guard is taken to court for spending almost $50,000 mistakenly deposited into her account. The Assembly building to undergo a much-needed makeover. And tonight on Culture Tuesday, do you know how to make stretch migots? These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
13,835,700 eggs are eaten by tourists each year, fueling our thriving economy. Tourism means business.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation Jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn B-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation Jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, April 23rd. I am Sabrina Daly. One of Belize's longest-serving politicians passed away on Monday night in Belmopan. Michael Espat, or Iron Mike, as he was affectionately known, passed away at the Western Regional Hospital. Reports are that he suffered a massive heart attack. Espat had not been fully active over the past couple months as he was dealing with certain health complications. There was, however, no information on how severe those health complications were. His death comes at a great loss to his family, supporters in Toledo East, and the People's United Party. His constituents embraced him and showed their support by electing him 6 times to that seat. Espat only lost twice in Toledo East in 1993 and 2008. Since his re-election in 2012, Espat has held on to the seat for 3 consecutive terms up until the time of his passing. News 5's Paul Lopez tells us more.
An outpouring of condolences and well wishes are being extended to the family of Mike Espat, the 6-time era representative for Toledo East. Espat passed away on Monday night at the Western Regional Hospital. Reports are that he suffered a heart attack. Lindford Castillo, the People's United Party's Secretary General, described Espat's sudden death as a great loss.
It is an understatement to say that it is a tremendous loss to the People's United Party. But the passing of Honorable Mike Espat is not only a loss to the People's United Party, but to the entire country of Belize, especially to the people of Toledo East, whom he has served diligently first being elected in 1989. We all know Honorable Espat has served multiple times in the House of Representatives. And of course, he had to sit out an election or two. But for the most part, Honorable Mike has dedicated the greater part of his life to the service to the people of this country. So, no doubt, we as a party are certainly feeling this. And the effects of his loss will affect us for many, many months and many years to come.
Espat first came onto the political scene in 1989 when he was elected in Toledo East under the People's United Party. He won the seat 5 more times after that, in 1998, 2003, 2012, 2015, and the November 2020 general elections. Following the 2020 general elections, Espat was sworn in as the Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister.
I, Mike Espat, do swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to Belize, and will uphold the Constitution and the law, and I will conscientiously, impartially, and to the best of my ability discharge my duties as a Minister of State and do the right to all manner of people without fear, favor, affection, or ill will. So help me God.
A release from the office of the Prime Minister describes Espat as a good and faithful servant of his people and country. Espat's Toledo East team also issued a statement on his passing. In the statement, they referred to Espat as a true pioneer who worked tirelessly to bring Toledo East and the Toledo District to prominence. He was considered a man of few words who only spoke up when the interests of his constituents were at stake. On one occasion in 2018, it was concerning the PUP's Southern Caucus no to the ICJ position.
We took our position as a Southern Caucus after a lot of discussion, after talking to people in that area. You got to understand what I did not tell you, that San Vicente, Jalacte, Youth San Benito Poite, all the way Dolores, Otosha, Awakate, most of these people come from Guatemala. So they are here because they cannot find the type of life on that side of the border. So they are now in Belize. A lot of them have nationality. A lot of them have Belizean children. You think they want to go back to what they left? I don't think so.
On another occasion, while the PUP was in opposition, Espat rose inside the House of Representatives to demand aid for his constituents affected by Hurricane Nana.
I have heard absolutely no interest in the farmers of the Toledo district. It is really pathetic to see the damage with the corn plantations in our district. I was in Dolores, Otosha. All the cornfields are down. I have seen no interest from the Ministry of Agriculture. Why is it they have not been able to come up with some idea of utilizing what is in the field? Because it's all left there. And in the next 2 or 3 weeks, most of that will rot.
And Espat was not one to engage the media too often. On rare occasions, he would agree to interviews. The PUP Secretary General says that might have been the case because Espat was a straight shooter who sought to avoid unnecessary conflict in the public domain.
To a large extent, Honorable Espat was a man of action and not too many words. And as you may know, and as we all know in the party, he was a very candid individual who spoke it as he sees it. So I believe he was aware of that, and therefore trying not to be in the forefront of the media too often, because certainly the type of personality that Honorable Mike was, he would have certainly rubbed a lot of folks the wrong way, because he calls it as he sees it. But nevertheless, he was a genuine individual who certainly loved this country, loved the people of Belize, loved his constituency, and of course, loved his party.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
We also heard from Prime Minister John Bersenio, who is currently on his way home from a visit to the Vatican. PM Bersenio says the news of Espat's passing caught him by surprise because they met last week in Belmopan to discuss works in Toledo East. According to PM Bersenio, Espat's death comes as a great loss to the party and the country. He reflected on his colleague's lengthy political career and contributions to the public service sector. Here's what he told us.
I think the first thing that comes to mind is I'm shocked. It's something that was totally unexpected. Last week, Monday, I had a meeting with him at his office in Belmopan. I'm talking about his work and his concerns about what's happening in the Toledo district. And so last night when I was informed that he had a heart attack and passed away, I was shocked and started to reflect that this is a great loss for not only for the UP and for the people of Toledo East, but for the country of Belize. Mike Espat dedicated his entire adult life to public service. Many people don't remember he was a teacher, he was a principal, and then I think it was in 1989 that he offered himself to represent the people of Toledo East, and since then he has been active in politics and service to the people. And so I am, as I said, a great loss to us and to our party, a great loss to the people of Toledo East and to the people of this country, and especially to his family. You know that just last year, his wife passed away. So this is even more tragic for the Espat family, to his children who lost a mother last year and now they lose their father. We will have an official funeral, but we want to sit down and discuss with the family. The family needs to tell us when they will they're prepared to have the burial. So that once they inform us, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, their protocol officers, will then take over and make all the arrangements. We're hoping that we can bring his body to the National Assembly before we take it, before he's taken to his final resting place, which will be in Punta Gorda.
The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Valerie Woods, also spoke fondly of the deceased parliamentarian. Despite Espat's silence in the House, he was a well-respected politician who wasn't afraid to voice concerns raised by his constituents in Toledo East.
Came as a shock, a tremendous loss. Honorable Mike Espat has been a member of the House of Representatives for several decades, but hasn't been a quiet member of the House of Representatives. He certainly epitomizes, I think, in my view, the resilience, the tenacity, and the courage, even as a backbencher, to stand up and not, if you will, follow tradition where we just go along with the program. He questions, and that is the beauty of what should be in our democracy, notwithstanding that he's part of the government side. The Honorable Mike Espat has always put on record questions of concerns he's had for his area. He was also a member who was very vocal, very old school, but very vocal when he met with me in the position that I hold as presiding officer. There was a time when the group of backbenchers wanted to meet with me to understand the rules, the standing orders, to make sure, because as they had put it, they see the style that I'm trying to bring, and he just wanted to understand. And he said, I take it as a vote of confidence by the honorable member from Toledo East when he said in all his years he has to respect the fact that he sees what I'm trying to do in, if you will, correcting even the government side. And coming from somebody with far more experience than myself, that understand the politics, I respected that.
According to Section 85 of the Belize Constitution, when the seat of a member of the House of Representatives becomes vacant, a by-election must be held within 3 months. As the Berno administration prepares to send Espat off with an official funeral, it must also consider the next move for the Toledo East constituency. With the next general election scheduled for 2025, that vacancy must be filled, unless the Prime Minister calls an early election. But he has already said that will not happen. It is also an opportunity for the opposition to gain ground in the Toledo district. This morning, Espat's Toledo East team noted that they will support his son, Melhem Espat, to carry the torch as the next area representative for Toledo East. But Dr. Osman Martinez and current PG Mayor Carlos Gavez have also voiced interest in the seat. Today, we asked the PUP's Secretary General how the party intends to navigate this decision when that time comes. We also passed the same question to Prime Minister John Berno. The responses were the same.
Everything has to happen one step at a time. At this moment, we are not even focusing on the next move in terms of who next or what will happen in terms of a by-election and all of that. Those things will fall in place. But for now, we're just focusing on remembering him, paying tribute to him, certainly as a party reflecting on the many deeds that Honorable Espat has done as area representative, as a minister of government, and just as a member, as soldier of the People's United Party, who has been at the helm for so long. That is the focus of the party at the moment.
Well, it's certainly too early, and I'm hoping that nobody will be talking about wanting to replace the Honorable Mike Espat. And right now, I think we need to give the family a chance to grieve, at least for us to wait until after the burial, and then as a party, we will decide on the way forward. We know we only have 90 days, but I do believe that we will be able to be ready and hope and expect that the people of Toledo East will once again have a representative of the People's United Party. But most importantly, this is something that we don't, I'm hoping that nobody will want to be able to talk about it right now. Let's grieve, with the family, and to pay him the respect that he deserves.
Coming up, Dr. Cuellar spent his last days thinking about Belize.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep." Some time ago I read the story of a small boy who illustrates this verse of Scripture perfectly. He was a little fellow with a big heart. His next door neighbor was an older gentleman whose wife had recently died. When the youngster saw the elderly man crying, he climbed one day up onto his lap and simply sat there. Later his mother asked the little fellow what he had said to their saddened neighbor. He responded with these words, "Nothing, I just helped him to cry." Sometimes that is the best thing that we can do for our friends who are facing sadness and sorrow. Often when words are inappropriate and gifts seem so insignificant, we need to help our friends cry and let them know that we are there because we care. Sometimes love is conveyed not by what is said, but by what is not said, not by the words that we speak, but by the tears that is shed. When Jesus wept with Mary and Martha at the death of Lazarus, their friends said, "See how he loved him." Someone today who is hurting and needs help needs to know that you can cry with them. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Dr. Bob Roberts and Christian Foundations of Faith.
It is the largest receivership in Belize's banking history, as Atlantic Bank is already overextended and cannot provide more funds.
It's giving very much like a bank collapse could happen.
Smith alleges that Atlantic Bank was playing fast and loose, and in so doing, running afoul of central bank regulations and putting depositors' money at risk.
And it make you wonder, like, who that the person would check that, all these regulations are adhered to, if banks are subjected to that.
So, what will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do? Well, we reached out to him today, but up to news time, he had not given us a comment.
You can't sit on the side in a matter that your negligence, your foul play, your ulterior motives playing games have created.
Right.
No act as if though, no act as if though.
He's not punctuous pilot way and wash your hands.
You cannot punctuous pilot the situation.
You are very much involved. You are the situation.
What will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do?
It's giving very much like one bank collapse, one bank collapse, one bank collapse.
Bye. Why long time to try call you?
Meet Alex.
Where they go on, man?
Alex signed up for a DigiOne premium bundle. He's loving it. With his free mobile plan, Alex can talk and surf on the go as much as he wants. Topping up and buying data is a thing of the past. Alex now has DigiTV. He enjoys all his games and his favorite shows, no matter if he's on the go or at home. And Alex also enjoys the fastest, most reliable home internet speeds with his DigiNet service. He is living his best life. Alex bundled. Alex is saving $70 monthly compared to purchasing these services from the other providers. Be like Alex. Sign up for your DigiOne bundle package today. DigiOne. One bundle, no hassle, exceptional value.
Monday night, we led our newscast with a story involving a lawsuit brought against businessman Mike Feinstein and Stake Bank Enterprise Limited. Tonight, we take a closer look at a sworn statement provided to the High Court on April 19th. The government of Belize and businessman Michael Feinstein entered into a definitive agreement to facilitate the development and operation of Stake Bank Island as a cruise ship docking facility in August of 2017. A year later, in his capacity as director of Stake Bank Enterprise Limited, Feinstein approached the Atlantic Bank seeking an extension of bridge financing to Stake Bank Enterprise Limited in the sum of $20 million. In an affidavit from Gregory Mejia, the managing director of Atlantic Bank, he says that Feinstein, in providing details of the project, informed the bank that the island was too small and thus intended to extend the island by dredging and reclaiming roughly 24 acres of seabed. On September 20th, 2018, the Atlantic Bank provided a loan of $20 million to SBEL, and along with a facility letter, Feinstein was furnished with a draft of the mortgage debenture for his execution. The debenture was reportedly signed by Feinstein in his capacity as director of Stake Bank Enterprise Limited. However, the document remained undated and in the custody of Atlantic Bank's lawyer because Feinstein reportedly did not wish to pay any stamp duty. Instead, he insisted that the debenture was the beneficiary of SBEL's exemption under the Act, and the bank was awaiting the first registration title for Minister's Fiat Grant number 699 of 2004 and 609 of 2006, which were still registered in Feinstein's name. Last night, we told you about the untimely passing of Belize's beloved Dr. Fernando Cuellar. Today, his siblings spoke with News 5 about his final moments. Judith Cuellar, Dr. Cuellar's sister, says her family has been receiving an outpouring of condolences and well wishes. She says that while they are unable to respond to every message and call, the family is comforted by the overwhelming expressions of support. And they wanted the public to know that Dr. Cuellar had all intentions of fighting to overcome blood cancer. Judith Cuellar says her brother's sole concern was getting back to Belize to be with his children and patients and the Belize Medical Associates. Here's more of what she told us.
Tony, as he's better known as to us, the siblings, was, kind of private when it came to certain things. He was also our eldest brother. So we looked to him for guidance in everything, and he would let us know if he wanted us to know about certain things. So we knew that he was having health issues, and he had discussed some of those health issues with us. To me, as a critical care nurse, my brain is going a mile a minute. Well, it could be more. And then he finally called me on about the 20th of March, saying that he needed my help. My brother never asked for help. And so that, of course, sent alarm bells. And I said, of course, and he flew up to California on the 23rd. And from the minute I saw him, we knew something was wrong. He had the back problems, and pain was his major issue. He just wanted the pain to go away. So I took him to the hospital because we wanted to see if they could help with the back and do anything for the back. And sure enough, within 2 days, he got the surgery, and it turned out that he had 3 fractures in the back. And this man was living with 3 fractures, seeing patients, still going and doing what he does best, not taking any pain medication at all. And so we managed to fix the back with Dr. Jackson, one of our orthopedic surgeons here. But the blood work came back and it wasn't normal. And so we started to decipher what that meant. And when they were in there doing the back, we took a little bone sample. And after that, then the diagnosis of T-cell lymphoma came back. And that's a very, very rare form of cancer. So he was special to the end. You know, if anybody's to get it, Tony got it. So they started aggressive chemotherapy. And unfortunately, the chemotherapy does its job, which is to shut down the body systems, no? And then we give other medication to reboot, just like a computer reboot, right? And that's where we ran into trouble. His body wouldn't reboot. And in that, then we dealt with the issues of him going quickly. Us as children, his siblings sitting here, you know, we're trying to still grapple with it in the sense that we're comforted by the fact that he had discussions about not wanting to suffer. He had discussions about not wanting aggressive treatment in the form of artificial life support and things of that sort. And up to the end, he was actually negotiating with the doctors what he would allow, and true to the end, you know, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'll give you 2 days. Okay, you know, and that is true to his form till the bitter end.
According to Judith Cuellar, Dr. Fernanda Cuellar's wishes was to be cremated. Following that process, she intends to travel back to Belize with his remains to join Belizeans in a celebration of his life. Last week, we reported on the detention of Shanique Maine, sister of Ellis, Tyrone, and Shaquille Maine, all of whom are known to the law. Her older siblings, Ellis, is wanted in connection with the murder of Roy Burgess in Placencia. Reports are that on Wednesday, April 17th, police entered the home of Shelley Maine, where her daughter had been socializing, and conducted a search. After the police left the premises, Maine arranged a ride with a friend and left her mother's house. Shortly after, she was picked up by police and detained, allegedly under the SOE, and sent to prison the following day. On Thursday, Maine was released from prison and returned home. While she has declined an interview, she has released a statement detailing her experience. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with that report.
Shanique Maine recounted the events surrounding her detention and alleges that the ordeal began after police entered her mother, Shelley Maine's house to conduct a search. According to the family, police were unable to find anything illegal and left the premises. Shortly after, Shanique Maine would arrange for a friend to pick her up. However, the companions would not get very far, as they were quickly approached by the police and told to pull the vehicle over. In a statement from Maine, she said, quote, "After we complied, they informed us that they were conducting a search. Despite finding nothing illegal, the officers pressured me to disclose our destination. They threatened to detain me under the state of emergency and even implicated me on a murder investigation if I wouldn't reveal my brother's whereabouts. They handcuffed me at the roadside and transported us directly to the Queen Street police station." Maine claims that after arriving at the station, she was denied the right to make a phone call and placed in a cell, while her companions were taken to a separate area for questioning. This interrogation allegedly lasted for 5 to 6 hours before they were brought back to the general area of the station. She said that after spending the night with no outside contact, her friends were taken for another round of questioning, after which she was transported to the Belize Central Prison. Maine went on to say, quote, "About 10 minutes before it was time to go up for the state of emergency, they took me behind the station. There, they handed me some paperwork, but offered no explanation. I was then placed on a bus with only male prisoners for transport. Upon arrival at the prison, I was handcuffed and subjected to a strip search. They processed me as an inmate, even taking my picture. Without explanation, I was placed directly in solitary confinement, a poorly ventilated cell they referred to as the ice holder. I was threatened with remaining there for the entire state of emergency. My meager provisions consisted of a single piece of bread, some water, a malfunctioning toilet, and a mattress. The oppressive heat made the ill-fitting orange jumpsuit unbearable. Despite my detention, I was denied a phone call and any change of clothes." End quote. Maine also claims that it was only after another prisoner caused the disturbance and needed to be placed in solitary confinement that she was moved and allowed to stay with the other female inmates. She said her cell did not have a working toilet, and she was made to wear handcuffs every time she wanted to use the bathroom or shower. Maine's mother claims that she had sent a bag of clothes to the prison for her daughter to change into after receiving permission to do so. However, she claims that she never received these clothes and instead had to wash the undergarments she arrived in. She concluded her statement by saying, quote, "My lawyer's initial attempt to see me was denied. Finally, around 9 p.m. the night before, they informed me that they were preparing for my possible release." G13 officers arrived at the prison with a revocation order from the Ministry of Police, indicating the state of emergency order under my name was lifted. They released me and simply dropped me off at home, still wearing the same clothes I was arrested in. This experience raises questions about the absence of support from the Special Envoy for Women and the Minister of Human Development during this ordeal. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Today, a woman was charged for dishonestly retaining a wrongful credit after nearly $50,000 of the Belize government lottery was mistakenly deposited into her account. That woman is Kathleen Belisle, a 32-year-old security guard at the Philip Golson International Airport. On Wednesday, March 20th of 2024, about 2 p.m., Prem Balani, a 25-year-old Belizean accountant at Nando's Wholesale LLP, visited Precinct 2 Police Station Crimes Investigation Branch Office and made a report. Allegations are that on March 8, 2024, Belisle retained a wrongful credit of $47,935.45 in Belizean currency. Belisle allegedly knew that the wrongful transaction had occurred, but did not take the necessary steps to ensure that the transaction was cancelled. Balani told police that Nando's Wholesale LLP is one of the sales agents for the Belize government lottery. And on Friday, March 8, 2024, he sent the money to a Belize bank account, believing to be the account of B. Young Chen at Lowe's Supermarket, which is a sub-agent for the Belize government lottery. But on Wednesday, March 16, 2024, Balani received a call from a sales representative at Nando's Wholesale LLP who was inquiring about the payment to Lowe's Supermarket as to why the money had not been sent. Proof of payment was sent to the sales representative at Nando's Wholesale, and shortly afterwards, the representative informed Prem Balani that the Belize bank account number was wrong and belonged to someone else. That is when the Belize Police Department launched an investigation into the matter and sent a request to the Financial Intelligence Unit to ascertain who the account belonged to. No plea was taken from Belisle, as the prosecutor indicated that the matter will be taken to the High Court on indictment. The prosecutor, Christopher Smith, had no objection to bail being offered to Belisle. However, he asked the sitting magistrate to set stringent conditions to her bail. With that, the sitting magistrate offered Belisle bail in the sum of $6,000 plus one surety of the same amount, or two sureties of $3,000 each, which she needed to meet by 4 p.m. this evening. Earlier this month, we told you that Lindford Castillo, the PUP's Secretary General, was among the applicants who sought to fill the vacant city administrator's position. Well, as we know now, Robert Albert Vaughn was appointed to that post. So what does Castillo think about his application being rejected? Today, he told us that he has no ill feelings towards anyone.
I remain the Secretary General of the party, and certainly having the interest to become the city administrator wasn't even in mind a month or so ago, because we all know why the vacancy for the city administrator became a vacancy, and so the council has moved on. The council has appointed the city administrator, and Mr. Vaughn is that person. And it's time to move on. You know, in this game, in this line of work, we cannot dwell too much on things that work out or didn't work out. You know, we are still a party. We have to continue to work as a party to continue to grow and develop this country and this city for the benefit of the Belizean people. So there's no ill feeling. There's no ill will. You know, we move on and we fight another battle as it comes along. So that is my take on the whole issue.
After the break, making stretch me guts for the next generation. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
It is the largest receivership in Belize's banking history, as Atlantic Bank is already overextended and cannot provide more funds.
It's giving very much like one bank collapse could happen.
Smith alleges that Atlantic Bank was playing fast and loose, and in so doing, running afoul of central bank regulations and putting depositors' money at risk.
And it make you wonder like who that the person would check that, you know, all these regulations are adhered to, if banks are subjected to that.
So, what will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do? Well, we reached out to him today, but up to news time, he had not given us a comment.
You can't sit on the side in a matter that your negligence, your foul play, your ulterior motives playing games have created. No act as if though, you know, no act as if though.
Please not punctures pilot way and wash your hands.
Yeah, you cannot punctures pilot the situation.
You are very much involved. You are the situation.
What will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do?
It's giving very much like one bank collapse, one bank collapse, one bank collapse.
The small company Belizean Sweets and Treats has prided itself in being a source for authentic Belizean confectionaries. However, it is no intention of being the only source of treats, as the founder and owner, Charlene Williams, has partnered with the Girl Guides Association to teach a new generation the skills to preserve Belizean culture and possibly become entrepreneurs in the future. In this week's episode of Culture Tuesday, we observed as Girl Guides Secretary Marilyn Crawford shows us how to make the candy stretch me guts. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with that story.
The Belizean delicacy Stretch Me Guts is one of many treats being passed on to a new generation of people. Through a collaboration with the Girls Guides Association of Belize and Belizean Sweets and Treats, the skills needed to prepare these classic candies are being taught to young girls and women so that the tradition may continue to be passed on for years to come. Charlene Williams, owner of Belizean Sweets and Treats, told us about the endeavor.
Belizean Sweets and Treats teamed up with Girl Guides Association of Belize to help to promote the Creole culture, to save our heritage so that our younger people can grow up and know that they're a part of something beautiful.
And what exactly are you making here today that you taught them yesterday as well?
Yes, one of the most exciting thing for them was the Stretch Me Guts. The name, they were like, what is it? Because they have never heard about it before. So we took on the initiative where we are teaching the guiders how to make these treats, and when they go to their individual packs, they will be able to give that information to then teach their little brownies, their guiders or their rangers how to do this.
Marilyn Crawford, Secretary of the Girls Guides Association of Belize, is one of the women participating in the classes. She recently learned how to make Stretch Me Guts and explained why initiatives like this are important for young women.
The purpose of it is teaching the girls life skills. So from an early age, they could learn to maybe fry an egg, boil potatoes and stuff like that. So these skills that we are teaching the girls is to take them throughout their life. So it depends on how they manage themselves as they get older, you know, because we have to face it that there will be hardship and there will be good times. So when they get in difficulties, they should be allowed to help themselves and know how to get out of that.
Williams walked us through the process of making Stretch Me Guts. She said that it only takes 3 simple ingredients: sugar, lemon or lime, and coconut water.
with stretch my guts, it's a combination of sugar, lemon, and coconut water. And you pretty much combine them on the stove. These 3 ingredients on the stove, make sure you stir it properly. You kind of have a leeway because it doesn't start to boil until probably 20 minutes in. But after it starts to boil, that is where you need to keep your foot glued in front of the stove. Keep stirring and stirring because you want an even consistency between it. Some people, when it starts to boil, you will notice that it simmers less and the syrup starts to thicken. This is where the sugar and everything is melting and it's starting to look like a beautiful combination.
Williams explained that there are 2 types of stretch my guts that she makes available. The traditional, taffy consistency, and the hard candy options are made available for people who find taffy difficult to eat, such as users of braces or dentures.
There's actually 2 types of stretch my guts. You have the hard candy, which you can suck as a sweet, and you have, like what the name says, stretch my guts, where you bite it, and you have a lingering piece. It's kind of like a taffy. With the association yesterday, we ended up making the hard candy. So in today's session, we are now making the taffy candy. So for it to be the hard candy, you need to be 270, 275 degrees. But most people do not have a food thermometer. So what we did when we were younger, my grandmother would have a little dish with water. When you see your sugar starts to boil less, you would take a little bit from the spoon, pour it in the water, and if she's able to pick it up with her hand and you're able to stretch it, you know that you're almost there. So when you reach that consistency, it is where you would pull it out, and that would give you the taffy one. Now, if you would boil it a little bit longer, then it would then transfer into the hard candy versions.
Williams and Crawford finished the batch by showing us how to stretch each piece as its name calls for, cautioning us not to burn ourselves in the process.
The tedious process is from the pan to when you go from your pot to the pan. You have to make sure that even before you start the process that your pan is greased, because just that little time between transitioning to the stove and you're trying to grease it, it can turn from taffy to hard candy, and if it's already at a hard candy, it can go to burnt candy. So you make sure that your pan is greased. You spread it out on your pan. That too in itself takes a little time. But what we have is a spatula, and we would continue to scrape from the sides, scrape from it on the sides. The idea is to just have an amount in the middle, because the side starts to cool quicker, and once sugar gets cool, it starts to get hard.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The family of 30-year-old Albert Robinson, who has been reported missing from Tobacco Key since March 25th, is desperately trying to locate the Belize City fishermen. Robinson left home that Monday en route to the island off the coast of Dangriga. When his uncle passed away a few days later, his mother attempted to reach him, but was unsuccessful. It wasn't until the young man's father contacted Therese Robinson and told her to go looking for her son that she figured something was awfully wrong. Earlier today, we spoke with the distraught mother.
The last time I see my son, when he come to me and said that he was going to Tobacco Key to work, was the 25th of March. Since then, I haven't heard anything from my son because he never had a phone. And when my brother died, the 6th of April, I tried to get in contact with one of the guys anyway he's on the island with, and he said that I don't go on the island anymore. And after that, Sunday here, his dad called and said that if I could go in search of my son, knowing that my son not is in Belize. So then I fear for the worst and start all kind of things running through my mind that, well, they must have killed my little boy, you know. And I don't know what to say, and I'm asking the people out there at Dangriga, Tobacco Key, anywhere where they're at, if they could please reach out to me and say anything, if they know anything about him. All I want to do is just find him and bring him home, even if he's dead or alive.
Why would you fear the worst for your son? I know you've mentioned that he went to sea or set out to sea on the 25th of March, but why would you think something would have happened to him?
Because it's gone long. He never go like for a month. He always takes 7 days to 2 weeks and come back in. And I not even heard nothing from him. All why I think he dead, because then he just say, go in search of my son. For what reason I must go in search of my son now? When I knowing that my son always on this island with these guys.
When we return, Assembly building to get much needed makeover.
At RF&G Insurance, we're committed to safeguarding what matters most to you. Offering coverage mile after mile, our offices and agents located across Belize ensure that you are protected. Secure your property with RF&G Householders Comprehensive Policy. From your home to your belongings, we offer protection so you can enjoy life to the fullest. For more information on your coverage options, contact our team of experts today or visit your local agents. We'll be ready to assist. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
Since the municipal elections, the PUP is only getting worse. In Belize City, they are now appointing an unqualified administrator whose only notable credential is that of being a long-time party hack.
Give me opportunity to feel.
In Belmopan, they've hired a financial director who is an accused embezzler of almost $250,000 from a private company. In the south, there is the National Sports Council director accused of mismanagement, who is now unable to meet payroll obligations, but is protected by her close friendship with the minister. In the north, they are blatantly abusing publicly owned Belize Water Services money to promote a political PUP candidate who is daughter of the Prime Minister's CEO. And at the Belize Tourism Board, the minister is wantonly abusing BTB funds, which by law should be managed by the board of directors.
Go drink, smoke.
The PUP is only getting worse. If the government will not change, then the people will have to change the government.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Since it was inaugurated in October of 1970, very little has been done to modernize the Assembly Building, the seat of power in Belize's administrative capital. Several months ago, it was announced that the historic edifice will undergo much-needed renovation and that the National Assembly will be relocated temporarily to the George Price Center in Belmopan until work on the building have been completed. Ahead of the remodeling, which is set to begin sometime in July, a series of consultations are being held with various stakeholders, including the media, on practical ways to improve the structure to enhance the visitor experience. Today, House Speaker Valerie Woods discussed the round of meetings and what can be expected from the rehabilitation of the building.
Accessibility, a more modernized institution, one that will facilitate more inclusiveness by way of having a lift for those who have mobility issues, and understanding that in 2024 the building, the institution has to be remodeled in a way that it accommodates women. They didn't have them. We didn't have those amenities in place. Flow for both staff, for members, for media as well, recognizing that the media is an important part of the institution and there has to be a space that is designed with that in mind and not an afterthought. The public as well, and then the police, because the police provide security for the parliament, but as a presiding officer, I don't necessarily know what they're dealing with outside. And so it was important for us to get a perspective from them in terms of the challenges they experience so that the design can accommodate as best as it can and within the parameters of the budget, of course. So we've met with the Senate. We've had consultations along with the House Committee. We've obviously met with the media. We've met with the staff and the police. And we've done that because before we get to the point of final design, it was important that we didn't hand down something, but try our best within the parameters of the budget and the timeline to incorporate as much as we could from those who use this space on a regular basis.
According to Speaker Woods, it was important to meet with the staff at the office of the clerk because those men and women are the ones who utilize the space on a daily basis. The project, she says, will be completed in roughly 1 year.
The staff, for me, were one of the more important groups to get feedback from the onset because unlike the media, unlike members, unlike the senators, even the police, they're the ones that are here 5 days a week, very early in the morning, very late at night. And so work environment and comfort is critical for their health, for their productivity. So it was important that we got that one done in the first instance, and we did. And we're also in the midst of looking at the rate of completion, if you will, for the temporary location, which is George Price Center. And some of what we're getting done over there also helps with what we're trying to get done with the new, if you will, National Assembly. In terms of timeline, works really should commence late July, early August, thereabouts, depending on when we can successfully move over to George Price Center. And completion right now is estimated anywhere between late May, early June of 2025.
The Belize territorial volunteers are raising alarm over the illicit harvesting of logwood in the Columbia Forest Reserve. A release from the BTV says that the organization recently conducted a 4-day expedition within the reserve and stumbled upon thousands of board feet of lumber being illegally harvested by individuals from Guatemala. The statement further notes that a road has been established inside the reserve to facilitate this illegal activity. BTV is now calling on the Forest Department and the Belize Defense Force to swiftly intervene and put an end to these actions. We heard from one Punta Gorda resident courtesy of PGTV.
Well, we gone hunt, and then when we gone far close to Machikila area, and then when we reach there,
Machikila is where the BDF is stationed?
Yes, the Machikila is where the BDF stay.
Okay.
And then when we are walking there, and then we saw the road and the open road.
What road? Inside the forest?
Inside the forest.
And that road come from where?
From Guatemala. And when we reach there, we see the road open, and then we saw the tractor come there, and we saw the both side of the road. They cut the lumber there. They're cutting it. That place looked like a hurricane passed there. All the lumber was from the ground, and the both side of the road you could see the lumber. It's a lone red. The both side of the road.
What kind of lumber?
They cut in mahogany, Santa Maria, and sapadilli. Yeah, and the cedar.
Up next, suspended SFX-CU board wants answers from registrar.
It is the largest receivership in Belize's banking history, as Atlantic Bank is already overextended and cannot provide more funds.
It's giving very much like one bank collapse could happen.
Smith alleges that Atlantic Bank was playing fast and loose, and in so doing, running afoul of central bank regulations and putting depositors' money at risk.
And it makes you wonder, like, who that the person would check that, you know, all these regulations are adhered to, if banks are subjected to that.
So, what will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do? Well, we reached out to him today, but up to news time, he had not given us a comment.
You can't sit on the side in a matter that your negligence, your foul play, your ulterior motives playing games have created.
Right.
No act as if though, you know, no act as if though.
Please not punctuous pilot way and wash your hands.
You cannot punctuous pilot the situation.
You are very much involved. You are the situation.
What will the central bank Governor Kareem Michael do?
It's giving very much like one bank collapse, one bank collapse, one bank collapse.
Every day, we access energy for cooling, lighting, and powering our electrical appliances and devices at work and at home. During cooler months, we rely less on cooling appliances such as fans and air conditioners. However, during warmer months, as the temperature and humidity rises, we use more energy to cool our spaces, and our appliances and electrical devices work harder than they do during the rest of the year. When the months become hotter, let's all practice energy conservation. Here are a few changes that you can make to manage your energy use. Check that all appliances and electrical devices are working efficiently. Turn lights off when not in the room. Unplug chargers, appliances when not in use. Turn off fans and TVs. Use energy-saving light bulbs such as LEDs. And look for the Energy Star products when purchasing appliances and electrical devices. These easy changes can reduce energy use and costs. You can also monitor your energy use during the month by reading your meter and calculating the reading using BEL's bill calculator on our mobile app or by visiting our website. Let's all save energy.
Hi, my name is Leah Mangar, and I am currently the Administrative Assistant at Yasche Conservation Trust here in beautiful Punta Gorda. I received the Social Security Board Scholarship in the year of 2021. After I was told that I was a successful recipient of this scholarship, I was very grateful. This scholarship has assisted me in various ways. Firstly, it relieved me of financial constraints. So that was the main obstacle that was keeping me back. But receiving this scholarship allowed me to gain the skills and the knowledge that I needed to attain the job that I currently have. I would just encourage you all to apply to the scholarship, and the process is very, very easy. You will find a link and it will direct you to everything that you need in order to submit your application. And once you submit it, pray and just hope for the best, because you just will never know if you can get it.
For 19 years, SMART has been the pulse of our nation. A journey of growth, innovation, resilience, and unity.
From the first call that bridged distances to the data that brought us closer than ever, SMART has been there, weaving threads of connection across our beautiful land.
We have been active in providing innovative solutions to enhance our customers' lifestyles. Over the years, SMART has developed and provided various services to meet customers' needs.
To the dreamers, doers, and the believers, thank you for making SMART a part of your story. For 19 years of trust, loyalty, partnership, and shared experiences.
As we celebrate 19 years of connecting lives and dreams, let's keep the rhythm alive. Together, let's continue to shape our future one connection at a time.
Come and be a part of the SMART family, where we empower you and our country today, tomorrow, and beyond.
SMART, bringing people together.
Members of the Board of Directors of St. Francis Xavier Credit Union say they are concerned with the way the Registrar of Credit Unions is managing the institution's funds. Viewers will recall that the board was ousted by the registrar back in March of 2023, following an audit of the credit union. That audit reportedly showed several deficiencies in the management of the credit union, as well as breaches of the Credit Union Act. The suspended board challenged the registrar's takeover in court and lost. They have indicated that their intent is not to appeal the ruling. They are, however, questioning some of the decisions that they say are being made at the credit union currently. Here is what Everaldo Poc, the credit union's suspended chairman, told reporters on Monday.
We need to inform our members as to what has been occurring in the credit union, and these are things which we have been learning from members who are coming out of the premises after having approached the personnel in there for different services. And one of the first things that we understand is that there are loan restrictions now. So once you owe a balance, you just don't qualify to go and apply for a new loan, which we would call refinancing. That's completely out. In some cases, people who have the amount of savings that would cover the loan would still have their application denied. Not contemplated at all, because they say if you owe any balance, you just don't qualify for any further loan. Our credit union has always been known for its willingness to contemplate assisting in emergencies. There have been several members who came out from the office saying, I went in there, I had an emergency, and I was told, no, there is no loan for emergencies. fees for services rendered there have gone up. And what really concerns us also is that we look at major renovations going on without an approved budget, and yet these are renovations that may be going contrary to already established plans.
Contrary to reports, suspended SFX-CU General Manager Rafael Dominguez asserts that the institution was not in any financial trouble under his leadership. He contends that the credit union was in a much better financial position under his leadership, even though huge red flags were raised over the familial ties he had at the time with other members of the managerial staff. Here is what Dominguez had to say.
At no time there had been any danger in the financial credit union. As a matter of fact, the figures are there to show that in 2023, the credit union has kept growing. Nevertheless, I need to point out that while checking on the figures as of December of 2023, recalling that we were suspended in March 2023, and then the central bank and the administrator came in place. The figures of December 2023, which is being stated on the central bank website, is showing that the Francis Xavier Credit Union overall capital and liabilities has reduced from $117 million ending March to some close to $115 million at ending of December. The loan portfolio has decreased as well from 90 million to 87 million. So we can see that something is triggering.
5police.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.